Right now at 6, local child care providers talk about ongoing issues in their industry during Wisconsin's A Day Without Child Care.
And Trempealeau County students learn more about Hmong culture in honor of tomorrow's Hmong American Day.
Watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown.
A La Crosse man is in critical condition after trying to help another man who fell into Pokegama Lake. The Barron County Sheriff says police got a call late Saturday night about 2 people in the water. According to a release, one La Crosse man was trying to get into a boat and fell in. When he did not resurface, another La Crosse man jumped in to help but started to struggle. Bystanders pulled that man out of the water. The other man was eventually pulled out and then flown to Mayo in Eau Claire, where he is in critical condition. The sheriff's office is still investigating the incident, though they believe alcohol was a factor.
The man accused of trespassing on a La Crosse airport tarmac will spend the next 4 years in a mental institution. 32-year-old Cody Anderson was arrested back in November for driving through the gate of a La Crosse airport and attempting to steal a plane. Anderson pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity in April for multiple charges, including attempted carjacking while possessing a weapon and making terroristic threats. 185 days will be docked from his sentencing due to jail time already served. No word yet on when he will be committed.
The Bangor woman accused of child neglect has been sentenced. 45-year-old Heather Reed ran a daycare out of her home and was charged with neglecting a child and for failing to have a daycare provider license. The charges stem from an incident in fall of 2022 that left a baby with fractures on their legs, ribs, and skull. Reed pleaded no contest to the neglecting a child misdemeanor. She did plead guilty to the failure to have a provider license. Reed was given 2 years of probation for each count. Those will be served concurrently.
Wisconsin's Supreme Court looks poised to overturn a previous ruling that essentially blocked the use of absentee ballot drop boxes. The 2022 court ruling said drop boxes couldn't be placed anywhere except for in election clerk offices. That ruling was under a conservative majority bench, but it flipped to liberal control last spring. Liberal Justice Jill Karofsky today wondered aloud whether a court should perpetuate a bad ruling if a previous court made a mistake. Attorneys for the GOP-controlled legislature argue there's no evidence of negative consequences since the ruling. Democratic attorneys argue election data says otherwise. When boxes weren't in use in 2022, over 1,600 absentee ballots got to clerks after Election Day and weren't counted. But in 2020, when boxes were used and 3 times as many people voted absentee, only 689 ballots got to clerks after the election.
Republicans in Wisconsin's Senate will go into session tomorrow to override 36 governor vetoes. Senate Republicans announced the move at simultaneous press conferences all over the state. Their list of bill vetoes to override include PFAS remediation funding, post-election audits, and hospital funding for the Chippewa Valley. Republican and co-chair of the Joint Finance Committee, Howard Marklein, says overriding vetoes is the only way forward.
I don't see any other pathway, unfortunately. And again, you know, we want this money out the door. You know, that's why we passed it. That's why we voted, you know, for these bills.
Fully overriding a governor's veto takes 2/3 of the entire legislature. The Senate has a 2/3 GOP supermajority, but it does not in the Assembly. So unless a few Assembly Democrats break rank, the Senate's action tomorrow will have no weight. Tonight, Governor Evers is responding with a lawsuit. He's suing the legislature because its Joint Finance Committee has not released $125 million for battling PFAS pollution, nor $15 million for Chippewa Valley Health Services. Now, the Republican PFAS bill had a provision to protect so-called innocent landowners from footing a pollution bill. Governor Evers said that was a loophole to protect corporate polluters, and that's why he vetoed it. The GOP's health care bill, meanwhile, said the money would have to go to emergency room capital expenditures. And Evers' partial veto on that bill expanded the eligibility for the money to go to additional services like OBGYN. And in a statement today, Evers said in part, quote, "Our response to challenges facing Wisconsin is being held up by Republican lawmakers, and that is unconscionable."
Today is National A Day Without Child Care. Providers and business leaders in La Crosse took time today to address issues facing the industry and the effects it has on the community. Senator Brad Pfaff and child care advocates held a press conference to raise awareness about the challenges families, providers, and employers face as staffing and accessibility dwindles nationwide. Lack of child care affects employee retention as well as industry growth in La Crosse. The press conference was aimed to help the community understand the main issues child care providers face so they can reach viable solutions.
The top 3 reasons that child care programs struggle to recruit and retain teachers are wages, access to benefits, and lack of respect for the field. So understanding that child care is a profession.
According to Samson, La Crosse currently has 136 child care positions that need to be filled.
Well, temperature is certainly pleasant in the region, but Greg, we are tracking a little bit of that haze from the Canadian area coming in.
Yeah, unfortunately, we had warm conditions for Mother's Day, followed by a cold front that turned the winds around to the northwest aloft, and that brought us more smoke from the Canadian wildfires that are ongoing and also some that were dormant and just rekindled this spring, too, once again. So out now, we do have the air quality issue until 11 p.m. It's really sitting at that orange, which is unhealthy for some, not for all. The visibility at the surface is not too bad, nothing like we saw last summer quite yet. If we look outside this evening, La Crosse really going to be the haze out there. Still some high clouds out there. Temperatures fairly pleasant to where we should be, 60 degrees. A little bit less haze as you go further north and less cloud cover. Overall getting to the upper 50s with that northeast wind going around this low that's sitting well to the south. It's also bringing maybe a few showers out there. Far southern Wisconsin. So far nothing to be spoken of on the area. There's your wind flow aloft, those yellow arrows, and the Canadian fires are up in the western area of Alberta, and that's why we've had the smoke kind of filter down into the area over the last couple days. The good news is once we go throughout the night, visibility overall won't be too bad, but something to keep in mind of further southern areas. You might see visibility drop towards the morning as we set up somewhat that typical inversion that might actually bring some of that visibility down. Otherwise, we go later on tomorrow, we're going to see more sun, pleasant conditions, but we are tracking more rain later this week, too.
All right, we'll get those details later on. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you. Tomorrow is Hmong American Day, a day set aside to honor Hmong culture and celebrate those who fought during the Vietnam War. To mark the occasion, students from the GET School District are getting a taste of Hmong history and culture. News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall has this story. Jeremy.
Emily, from the war-torn jungles of Laos to refugee camps in Thailand to thriving homes here in Wisconsin, the reenactments fourth graders witnessed at the Hmong Cultural Center in La Crosse today tell the story of the Hmong Americans' journey for many living in the U.S. today. For most of Wisconsin's Hmong population, American roots were sown following the Vietnam War as refugees fleeing persecution from the North Vietnamese Army. For 14 years, the Hmong Cultural Center has been teaching Hmong American history to students in the La Crosse School District. This year, other districts like Gale, Ettrick, Trempealeau are getting in on the action, traveling to the Hmong Cultural Center for an upfront lesson in history. For Mai Tai Yang, the stories of war hit the hardest.
I lost both of my parents during the war, so it makes me reminds me how hard they fought.
With more than 40,000 Hmong Americans calling Wisconsin home, Yang says it's critical for others to know the history. She adds the more the students learn about our culture, our history, or the reason why we're here, the less fear that students get, less racism, I believe so too. And the festivities continue this weekend. On Saturday, there will be a Hmong American celebration at the Omni Center. It runs from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Ken and Emily.
All right, thank you, Jeremy.
Dahl Subaru presented a check to the La Crosse area YMCA today. The check presentation, the culmination of Dahl Subaru's annual Share the Love event, which raises money for both local and national charities. In all, La Crosse area Subaru customers raised about $45,000 for the local Y. La Crosse area YMCA CEO Bill Soper says the money will go toward memberships for low-income individuals, the organization's youth center, and charitable efforts in La Crosse neighborhoods.
All those things are supported through charitable donations in our community. That members and businesses, and Dahl Auto is really key to that in supporting the good work of the Y and all of our programs that are highly subsidized.
He says the check from Dahl will go a long way toward helping the YMCA reach its yearly fundraising goal of $1 million.
A Bangor educator likes to take his lessons outside of the traditional classroom.
I'll introduce you to this month's top-notch teacher right after this.
Last year, our daughter blessed our family with this cute little nugget. We're supposed to leave our next generation better off, but because Washington politicians have spent our money recklessly, he starts out owing hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. It's wrong. The spending needs to stop. Unlike career politicians who drive us deeper into debt, I'll fight for him and for your children to have a better future. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Get an 11% rebate on everything now at Menards. Messina's Animal Stopper is a liquid repellent that prevents animals from damaging your garden. Get a 32-ounce ready-to-use bottle for $7.99 after rebate. Grow a bountiful harvest with Miracle-Gro Garden Soil. This enriched blend of compost provides essential nutrients to vegetables and herbs. It also protects against over and under watering. A bag is only $7.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Get solar and get saving with Olson Solar Energy in the La Crosse area.
When you're talking to someone and you call someone at Olson Solar, it's not someone in Utah, it's not someone in California, it is someone local right here. By doing that, we control the entire process. So we control the project management, we control the design, we control the installation, the electric, the hookup, permitting, and that really sets us apart.
Stop into our location near you. Learn more at olsonsolarenergy.com or give us a call.
Coachman RV La Crosse is now open in Onalaska. Visit Wisconsin's premier Coachman dealer specializing in the sales and service of the Coachman lineup, including brands like Adrenaline, Entourage, Concord, Leprechaun, and more, along with a large selection of quality pre-owned RVs. Plus, as part of the Camping World Dealer Network, you will have access to our national network of lenders, nationwide service network, and all of the Good Sam products and services. We can't wait to serve you at Coachman RV La Crosse.
Top Notch Teacher is sponsored by Viterbo University and Dahl Honda.
This month's Top Notch Teacher is a Bangor educator who brings a sense of adventure to his curriculum whenever he can. Dave Luke is always willing to take on a challenge, whether it's in nature or the classroom.
I wasn't always a teacher, and I can say this is the hardest profession I've ever had.
He's up to 7 years now as an academic assist teacher in Bangor.
It really boils down to the relationships with kids. Coming to work every day and having a positive attitude and really trying to provide an inspiration.
Most of Luke's day is helping students progress through their classes, but he also teaches a class dedicated to servant leadership.
How you can positively influence other people in your community.
A topic he could tackle a bunch of different ways, but true to form, he wants to give his students a challenge.
I'm a big fan of experiential education. And then you just do the two-leg ones. I take kids out on field trips whenever I can.
Like a field trip to UW La Crosse to get his middle schoolers some literal airtime.
Now we're going over a unit in what's called Agape Love and the essentials of Agape Love, which include things like patience, kindness, commitment.
On a day like this, they're also practicing trust.
You guys understand your job is extremely important, right?
Yeah. To conquer a challenge and reach new heights together.
When you know that what you're doing is making a difference in your lives, that's what keeps you motivated.
So to nominate a teacher you believe is top-notch, just head to our website, news8000.com, click on Features on the left-hand column, and then click on Top Notch Teachers. Artificial intelligence is rapidly changing, and experts believe new AI smartphone apps could detect mental health issues.
Although we have air quality issues with the smoke, it does create for some great sunsets, something to keep in mind for the next couple of nights. But we are tracking some rain in the forecast. I'll time that out, break it down when to expect it. That coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
Make dinner good tonight with Hardee's new tender platters. Crunchy, juicy chicken dipped in buttermilk and hand-breaded, served with garlic toast, fries, slaw, and an ice-cold drink. Delicious, down to the very last crumb. Hardee's, goodness in the making.
My son, Nick, took illicit fentanyl, which cost him his life. And knowing that my son is never coming back is the worst thing that I will have to live with for the rest of my life.
Tammy Baldwin's been with us every step of the way. She just got a major bill passed to really crack down on fentanyl. She doesn't just talk the talk, but she actually walks the walk.
I cannot tell you how much we appreciate Tammy Baldwin fighting this fight.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
It's hard to explain what this feels like.
moving piles of earth, towing up to 4,000 pounds, cutting millions of blades of grass. We could keep trying to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Conquer every task on your list. Visit Tractor Central, take a seat, and see for yourself why nothing runs like a deer. Start now at TractorCentral.com.
Has your pet been diagnosed with a luxating patella or floating kneecap? Forget the inconvenience of travel and expense to a university. Dr. Mark Hine at Wisconsin Veterinary Orthopedics in Holmen specializes in using both tibial tuberosity transpositions and block trochleoplasties to safely repair your pet's injury. Fetch made possible, one knee at a time. Contact Dr. Mark Hine at Wisconsin Veterinary Orthopedics today.
Are you or a loved one having troubles getting in and out of the bathtub safely? Has the high cost of remodeling left you without options? I'm Tim with Tri-State Tub to Shower Conversions, and I've been serving the Tri-State area since 1992. And I would love to make your bathing experience safe and affordable. We use your existing tub and remove the front section for easy accessibility. And for an affordable cost, call today.
Now at Hardee's, 2 hand-breaded chicken tender wraps are only $5. Choose your favorite flavors for endless combinations. 2 wraps, just $5. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Get exclusive offers on the Hardee's app.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
New smartphone apps with artificial intelligence may soon to be able to detect users' mental health issues.
Yeah, researchers say tracking daily physical and social behaviors catches changes a weekly or monthly therapy visit might miss. Dr. Nicholas Jacobson co-created the app Mood Capture as part of a recent Dartmouth College study. Users have selfies taken from their phone while answering questions about their mood. The AI model was 75% accurate in detecting depression signals.
And really the purpose of it is not to just monitor folks continuously in a Big Brother way. It's to try to actually put power back into their hands, using data that's really from their daily lives and informs their mental health needs.
The study collected more than 125,000 images from 177 participants. Researchers want to improve the app's security by ensuring the photos never leave the phone.
Last year, 29% of Americans said in a Gallup survey they've been diagnosed with depression at some point in their life.
Well, we had a lovely Mother's Day weekend and graduation, might I add. There was lots of people out in cap and gowns, taking pictures by the river, soaking it all up. But we do have warmer temps, but we have smokier skies today, Greg.
Yeah, with the cold front that came through on Sunday, it turned the winds around to the northwest aloft, so that flow continues to usher in some smoke. The good news, it won't be around for long, and it's not going to be as thick or present as we saw last summer, too, with the fire. But we still got hazy skies, a few showers tonight. Don't forget, with the smoke, it does create some pretty good sunsets for the time being. We'll probably see a little bit more haze tomorrow, but not as much as Monday. Seasonal temps still dry through Wednesday, a little warmer Wednesday, but overall still dry conditions until we get to Wednesday night. Tonight, with that northerly wind will continue. Cloud cover, high clouds, especially as you go further south, less as you go further north. With that northeast wind, we still might get some low clouds that come in through the morning hour. You can see some of this start to show up overnight. Overall temperatures begin to fall back into the 40s up to the north, more to the 50s. Even a few showers still continue to persist throughout the night, just far southern near Wisconsin River, Prairie du Chien area. Otherwise, you wake up, there could be some pockets of some lower clouds with that northeast wind, kind of keeps that moisture coming in from the northeast. Otherwise, you could see some visibility problems further south just because of the inversion setting up, so it may trap some of that smoke. We'll see if that does occur. Otherwise, once we get through the morning hour and some of that low clouds, we should just see more sun in the afternoon as that low begins to push off to the east. Winds will become more easterly. We should get up into the 60s by noon. Less haze with this thing, and then of course in the afternoon more into the low 70s. So seasonal temperatures with some less haze as the winds begin to turn around, and less clouds too out there overall is the big picture. And then for tomorrow evening, pretty much clearing skies as the winds begin to turn around because we have a system that'll be approaching. As I spoke about the smoke, this is surface-based smoke, and it's going to start thinning out as the winds begin to turn around and really pull back to the northwest as you see there. So overall we should see less of it tomorrow, but it's the morning hours really when you get that inversion and it traps it a little bit would be when we could see some visibility problems. Otherwise, by tomorrow afternoon, really the winds begin to pull back, so most of the smoke could be lifting with the system because the system is going to be pulling that, as we mentioned previously. And there's that one that we're talking about for Wednesday. It's going to take probably till Wednesday night that it actually gets close enough. So Wednesday still looks dry with the winds turning around to the southeast, so a little bit warmer for most locations. And then it'll be not till Wednesday night, actually late Wednesday night, that we start seeing that system begin to approach. So we'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms. The evening commute Wednesday looks fine. It'll probably be Thursday morning. We might see that activity come through, so that could be a wet morning commute. Otherwise, we'll see that persist through Thursday. So that's our next chance of rain coming. So we still got several dry days ahead right now. But overall, hazy conditions for occasional. Some low clouds out there. Temperatures pretty seasonal. Upper 40s to lower 50s in most of the locations. Tomorrow, more sun, less haze, but still temperatures pretty seasonal, upper 60s to low 70s for most locations. A little warmer in some locations Wednesday. It gets wet Wednesday night through Thursday. Then we start warming back up as the winds turn around the south. The next weekend does look to be more on the warm side, but we can't rule out some showers or thunderstorms in some of those days, but I think most of that period will be dry. So the haze is out here, so let's see if the sunset turns out to be pretty good, because it should be with the smoke in the sky.
There we go. Yep. Thanks, Greg. Coming up next in sports, crosstown rivals clashing on the diamond this afternoon, plus one of the area's best coming in second place over the weekend in the MVC Track Championships. But it was how he did it that made it special. Rob's up next.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
Here's the choice. Eric Hovde, fourth-generation Wisconsinite, self-made businessman, job creator, and Eric's foundation provides homes that save thousands of children in need. Career politician Tammy Baldwin, 38 years in politics, voted with Biden 95% of the time. Her votes caused prices to soar, and she refused to secure our border. Career politician Tammy Baldwin, she's not working for us anymore. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Where there's a flooded basement, there's a solution. Where there are wet spots or musty smells, there's an answer. Where wood damage or dry rot is stealing home value, there's an expert. American Waterworks. For wet basements, wood damage, and effects of dry rot, American Waterworks professional crack repair, waterproofing, sump pumps, and vapor barriers provide long-lasting solutions to tough problems. Wherever moisture problems surface, there's an answer. American Waterworks. Schedule your free inspection and estimate today.
Get up to 60% off list prices
on hundreds of items at the huge memorial sale at Slumberland Furniture.
Incredible deals like this brand new Chase with storage that's also a sleeper, just $449. This complete wicker set with table, just $899. Or get a free ottoman with this sectional. Maybe you're looking for a comfy sofa? That's just $399. Up to 60% off list
at the huge memorial sale at Slumberland Furniture. Do not miss this one.
In the aftermath of an accident, you think it needs to be big and bad to call an attorney. What you don't realize is that perhaps it is big and bad, and you just can't see it or can't see it yet. But as time passes and it becomes clear that you are going to live with your injuries for the rest of your life, you realize, oh, it was bad. Calling Schwabel, Getz & Sieben right away was the best thing I ever did.
You need an experienced attorney on your side. Schwabel, Getz & Sieben.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
In about 2.5 weeks, all the best track and field athletes will gather right here in La Crosse for the state tournament. As we close in on the end of the season, that brings us to our conference meets. And over the weekend at the MVC Championships, it was a second-place finisher that stole the show. Onalaska's Manny Putz is no stranger to winning. As just a junior, he's a two-time cross-country state champ, has a good chance at bringing home a couple of golds during state track. On Saturday, Putz was cruising to what looked like an easy 1,600-meter win, but on the last lap, he slowed down, letting his senior teammate Blake Bernstad catch up, the two crossing the finish line in unison. Bernstad in first, Putz in second, a moment these two will never forget.
On that last 100-meter, we knew that it was going to be 1-2, so we just wanted to have fun with it. And so, yeah, we were just celebrating a little bit, and honestly, it was just a chill race.
Having him slow down at the finish line, you know, having us cross together is something special. He's a great friend. He's super fun to be around, and he's just the best teammate anyone could ask for.
Now, Putz would get his shine as he took first in the 3,200-meter run, but Manny says it's never about himself and always about the team. Crosstown rivals clashing on the softball diamond. Logan hosting Central. Top two Riverhawks are going to strike first. Grace Blagan goes back up the box for a base hit. Here comes Terry Shawley. Sophomore puts on the brakes, but a bad throw allows her to come in and score. Central gets on the board. It's 1-0. Later in the inning, Elena Wagner is going to loop one into center field for a base hit, but the Rangers make a nice play, nice tag at home. Logan keeps it a 1-run game, but the Rangers with no answer early on for Carmen Peterson, the Central junior, dominating in the circle. Back-to-back strikeouts for Peterson. Then she gets Maria Weber to ground out to first. Riverhawks still up 1, and Peterson keeps it going in the third. The junior strikes out the side in order, a 1-2-3 inning for Central. Riverhawks up 1 early, but we'll have the final from this one later on tonight. Fun times in the sports world. I had not a near-death experience over the weekend, but a very, very frightening experience for me being a city guy.
Yeah.
I was on my way to get some water at festival.
Okay.
I like to walk at night.
Uh-huh.
Saw a possum. I have never seen an animal.
Never?
In my yard. Well, in my yard. I've been here for almost 2 years. Immediately walked back in.
Well, it's because your lawn's
nope.
overgrown. His lawn's overgrown, so it's creating a habitat for all types of...
Yeah, and terrified of raccoons. Possums, they're not the same, but I just felt
that
like it
tail.
It wasn't scared of me. Like I was walking towards it, and usually you hear like they're scared of you.
Yeah.
Wasn't scared.
No, they hiss.
Tough possums.
They would come into my mom's garage and eat the cat food. Yeah, they're
I think I made the right
They're
call.
no joke.
I'm right back inside.
Well, I'm glad you're
Still
okay.
here.
We're glad you're okay.
That's right.
All right, thanks, Kurt. Thanks, Rob. We'll be right back with another look at our forecast.
Have you checked your sump pump lately? After a big rain, basement flooding can significantly damage your home. Stay ahead and dry with a call to Maxwell White. We have standard pumps along with battery backup systems in case you lose power. Prevent future damage. Contact Maxwell White today.
Do you know where your money's going? Ultra's online and mobile banking gives you instant access to your accounts and makes managing your finances easy. Halfway around the world or at your local neighborhood shop. No need to visit a branch to deposit checks, transfer money, or open new accounts. All of those and more are available right at your fingertips. Check your spending, make loan payments, and send money to your friends and family. Convenient banking that gives you control of your finances. Ultra Federal Credit Union, helping you live your best life.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you outdoors because we get you. When it's time to get out and cultivate your ideal yard, we get you the right products at the right prices. Like Scott's Turf Builder Lawn Food, $49.99 after sale and mail-in rebate. Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action, $76.99 after sale and rebate. Scott's Grub X Season-Long Grub Killer, $24.99 after sale and rebate. Plus, leave the heavy lifting to us. Buy online and pick up your items in our convenient drive-thru in just 1 hour. Only at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Sick of running out of hot water? The professionals at Maxwell White are here to handle all of your water heater needs. Our licensed technicians can install, repair, or replace any type of water heater with same-day or next-day service. Call Maxwell White. Plumbing done right.
All right, overall, pleasant conditions. The haze will be better tomorrow. We have rain coming Wednesday night into Thursday, and weekend right now starts to warm back up. So, not too bad.
Thanks for joining us at 6.
All right, we'll see you at 10.